Have you ever sat down to meditate, hoping for calm, only to feel like your thoughts suddenly got louder and faster? It can feel almost unfair, like the moment you close your eyes, your mind turns into a crowded room you can't escape. If you've experienced that, you might have wondered whether meditation just isn't for you. Or maybe you've thought that your mind is too busy, too analytical, or too restless to ever feel peaceful. But here's something most people don't realize. A busy, overthinking mind isn't a problem meditation needs to fix. It's actually the exact reason meditation can work so deeply for you. Overthinking doesn't mean there's something wrong with your mind. It means your mind is doing what it learned to do very well. Your brain evolved to plan, predict, and protect you. When life feels uncertain or stressful, the mind responds by thinking more, not less. It replays conversations, imagines future outcomes, and tries to solve problems before they happen. At first, this feels helpful. But over time, those thought patterns can turn into loops that never seem to shut off. Especially at night, or in quiet moments, when there's nothing left to distract you. That's often when overthinking feels the loudest. And that's also why meditation can feel so uncomfortable in the beginning. When you slow down, all the mental noise you've been avoiding finally has space to show up. Many people make the same mistake at this point. They assume meditation is about emptying the mind. So they sit down and try to force their thoughts to stop. But the more you try to push thoughts away, the more stubborn they become. It's like trying not to think about something by focusing all your energy on avoiding it. The effort itself keeps the mind active. This is why meditation can feel frustrating, especially for overthinkers. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because you're aiming at the wrong goal. Meditation isn't about silence. It's about changing how you relate to your thoughts. Instead of fighting your mind, meditation teaches you how to meet it differently. A successful meditation session doesn't mean you had no thoughts. It means you noticed your thoughts without getting pulled into them. That difference is subtle, but powerful. When you notice a thought instead of following it, a small gap appears. In that gap, there's space. And in that space, the nervous system begins to settle on its own. Thoughts are still there, but they lose their grip. They become background noise instead of a constant demand for attention. This is why many experienced meditators still think during meditation. The thoughts haven't disappeared. The attachment to them has. And this is where overthinkers often have an unexpected advantage. If you overthink, you're already highly aware of your inner world. You notice shifts in mood, patterns in thinking, and subtle mental movements. At first, that sensitivity feels overwhelming. But in meditation, it becomes a strength. Once you stop judging your mind and start observing it, that awareness becomes a doorway to calm. You don't need to become someone with a different kind of mind. You just need a different relationship with the one you already have. That's why the type of meditation you choose matters. Some practices feel too open or unstructured at first, especially for busy minds. Overthinkers often benefit from gentle anchors that give the mind something simple to return to. One of the most effective is mindfulness meditation. In mindfulness, you're not trying to stop thoughts. You're noticing when they arise and gently bringing your attention back to the present moment. Often, that anchor is the breath. You might notice the sensation of breathing in your chest, your belly, or your nose. Thoughts will interrupt, and that's normal. When they do, you acknowledge them without judgment and return to the breath. Each return is not a failure. It's the practice. Over time, the mind learns that it doesn't need to chase every thought. Another powerful approach for overthinkers is body-based meditation. Sometimes the fastest way to calm the mind is through the body, not the intellect. When you focus on physical sensations like warmth, pressure, or relaxation, attention shifts away from abstract thinking. The nervous system receives signals of safety. And when the body feels safe, the mind naturally quiets down. This can be especially helpful if overthinking is tied to anxiety or restlessness. Breath-focused meditation works in a similar way. Slow, steady breathing directly influences the nervous system. You don't need to control the breath aggressively. Simply observing it or gently lengthening the exhale can be enough. The body begins to relax, and the mind follows. For some people, especially when thoughts feel intrusive or repetitive, sound or mantra meditation can help. Repeating a simple sound or phrase gives the mind a steady rhythm to rest on. It's not about blocking thoughts. It's about giving the mind something soothing and consistent to return to. If you're new to meditation, you don't need long sessions. In fact, short practices are often more effective for overthinkers. Here's a simple approach you can try. Sit comfortably, without worrying about perfect posture. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a few natural breaths, letting your body settle. Bring your attention to where you feel the breath most clearly. Thoughts will appear. When you notice them, acknowledge them gently and come back to the breath. If you have to return 100 times, that's okay. Each return strengthens awareness. After about 10 minutes, let your attention widen. Notice your body, the space around you, and how you feel. Even if the mind was busy, many people notice a subtle sense of calm. When it comes to reducing overthinking, consistency matters more than duration. 5 or 10 minutes a day is more powerful than one long session once a week. Most people notice changes within a couple of weeks. Not because thoughts vanish, but because they lose their intensity. Overthinking often feels strongest at night. Without distractions, the mind replays the day or worries about tomorrow. Meditation before sleep can help signal to the body that it's safe to rest. Nighttime practices are gentler. They focus more on relaxation than alert awareness. Body scans and slow breathing are especially helpful here. Thoughts can drift by as you let the body soften. One question many people ask is whether meditation is working if the mind feels busy. Often, increased awareness makes thoughts more noticeable at first. That's not a setback. It's progress. You're seeing the mind more clearly. With time, thoughts become quieter and easier to release. It's also important to be honest about limits. Meditation is powerful, but it's not a cure for everything. If overthinking is rooted in deep trauma, severe anxiety, or depression, additional support can be important. Seeking help is not a failure. It's an act of care. At its core, meditation for overthinking isn't about achieving a quiet mind. It's about learning to meet your thoughts with patience instead of resistance. When you stop trying to control the mind, calm begins to arise naturally. Over time, overthinking shifts from something that dominates your inner world into something that simply passes through. If this idea resonated with you, you might want to sit with it for a moment. And if you feel drawn to exploring this kind of practice more deeply, you can gently return to it, one quiet moment at a time.